A generation which was said to be incapable has proven otherwise.
Fight for justice, which began with a single protest and ended with a nation on fire.
So, how did the Gen Z protest really begin? Once a generation deemed incapable now embraces the challenge to eradicate corruption. What began as a flicking flames of disobedience blossomed into national consciousness. The digital revolution that began with the intention to stop corruption now explodes into real life protest.
In August 2024, Bangladesh erupted. A supposed peaceful student protest turned into a violent one when the PM, Sheikh Hasina, disregarded their needs, infuriating the whole nation and making Sheikh forcing her to kneel before the protesters. This was soon followed after by Indonesia. A movement for anti-corruption ended up being violent when a delivery driver was killed by the police. More people were killed. Similar upbringings then arose over multiple countries like Sri Lanka, Sudan, Kenya, and beyond.
Then it reached the Nepalese. They started learning about those revolutions through social medias, through the Nippo Kids trend, which emerged from the USA, calling out the children of the corrupt politicians, exposing their luxurious lifestyle, a symbol of unfairness, while Nepal barely had the infrastructure to survive. A massive wealth gap emerged as citizens saw other videos trending and clickbait titles yelling, "Where is all the money coming from?" So, where is the money really coming from?
The anger was now directed to KP Oli, known for his involvement in these corruption scandals such as Lalita Nivas and Gribonduti state scandal. The doubt remained as the questions was also pointed at other major politicians' kid through countless examples online. There was Son Prachanda's granddaughter, Shrinkhala Khatiwara, etc.
Nepal government decided to ban 26 social media apps such as Threads, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and many more on early September 2025. The reason for this was said to be failure in registering the apps per new rules. But this ban was not taken lightly by the youths since it was seen as a violence to freedom of speech. Word spread around when students started a peaceful protest flooding the streets of Maitighar, Naya Baneshwar, seeking for anti-corruption, asking the government to unban their voices. The protest then took a sharp point when tear gas, rubber bullets, and other measures were used. 19 lives were lost that day, while hundreds were injured. The social media platforms were flooded with clips of students in their uniform being shot, leaving blood all over the streets. But one thing was for sure, corruption would no longer be tolerated in this country.
What began as a protest turned into a revolution. From screen to streets, from whispers to deafening yell, they please learn to stand up for themselves. The government failed. The streets were no longer filled with protests or chants, but it was now flooded with rage. People began crowding the doorsteps of the corrupt. So many people gathered that no one could ignore them any longer. The revolution went from hashtag to the step for a new for everyone, for transparency, fairness, and a new for integrity.
Corruption destroys trust. Integrity reveals nation. Change does not come from politicians alone. It comes from you. It comes from me. It comes from every action we take, every inaction we refuse to ignore. We are the architects of our nation. Which side will you choose?
About the Nepo kids trend, how did seeing that wealth make you feel?
त्यति धेरै वेल्थ देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई एकदम अनजस्ट क्रिएट भएको फिल भएको छ किन भन्दाखेरि जे गर्नको लागि पनि हाम्रो यो देशमा अहिले चाहिँ कनेक्सन चाहिन्छ र नेपो किड्सहरूमा चाहिँ धेरै कनेक्सन्सहरू छ र कनेक्सन्स नभएको मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ एकदम अनफेयर फिल भएको छ त्यो
सोसियल मिडिया ब्यानले तपाईँलाई कस्तो इफेक्ट पार्यो?
सोसियल मिडिया ब्यानपछि यसो लाग्यो कि हाम्रो जुन अधिकार छ हक छ जुन हामीसँग छिनेर गयो होइन अनि हाम्रो जुन रिलेटिभ्सहरू बाहिरको मान्छेहरू केही न्युजहरू के पाऊँ भनेर त्यो कम्युनिकेसन पनि गयो हामीबाट अनि त्यही हो।
हजुर आन्दोलनको बेला कता हुनुहुन्थ्यो सर?
मेरो घर त यही रक्सौलमै हो होइन। अहिले घरको त्यहाँबाट हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मान्छे हिटलरको माथिबाट जान सुरु गरेको थियो। जेन्जीको नाममा को
हजुर कस्तो फिल भयो अनि यो हिल्टन चल्दाखेरि?
मलाई त नराम्रै लाग्यो। अब टेरिस्टहरूलाई पनि हानाहान गऱ्यो होला।
यो आतङ्क धेरै भइरहेको थियो यो दिन होइन, यस्तो गर्न नहुने हो। यो जेन्जीको नाममा धेरै धेरै मान्छेहरू मिसिया जस्तो लाग्छ कि नै तपाईँलाई?
लाग्छ।
यो प्रोटेस्टले नेपालमा के असर पार्यो? यो प्रोटेस्टमा नेपालमा भएका चोरहरू सब फरार हुनु पुगे होइन अनि सिंहदरबार पनि जलाइदिए जसका कारणले मान्छेहरूको डकुमेन्ट सब जले त्यही भन्छु म।